Major real estate brokerages are treating the American home as a proprietary data point rather than a physical piece of property. For decades, the system relied on the Multiple Listing Service, or MLS. It functioned as a shared democratic data pool where every listed home was broadcast to all prospective buyers simultaneously. Now, top firms are intentionally fracturing that shared pool. They are pulling inventory off the public market and keeping it hidden from general buyers to gain a competitive advantage. To do this, these brokerages are constructing exclusive private listing networks. Access to these internal platforms is strictly limited to their own agents and their specific clients. The housing market is becoming a series of isolated corporate networks where inventory is locked behind a specific company's brand. Hanna Real Estate Services, based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, operates across 15 states and is actively architecting this siloed strategy. The firm recently launched a private listing network called HannaList, built in partnership with the software firm Ocusell. The platform allows sellers to share their properties strictly with Hanna buyer agents. This happens entirely behind closed doors, before the listing ever hits the wider MLS distribution. HannaList turns a home for sale into an exclusive lure, capturing and retaining buyers within the Hanna ecosystem, before the broader public even knows the house is available. This data allows agents to refine their approach. Hanna CEO Hanna explains that this pre-market phase lets agents gather real-time buyer insights, evaluate timing, and test their positioning. Sellers gain a psychological advantage. They can build momentum and adjust their asking price based on private feedback, all while the public clock remains frozen at 0 days on market. In the traditional open system, a poorly priced home sits stagnant on the public MLS. It openly accrues days on the market, which typically signals to buyers that the property is losing value. Brokerages are operating with a new mindset. A standard 3-bedroom house is treated with the same calculated strategy as the soft launch of a new tech product. The primary friction standing in the way of these private networks is the industry's governing body, the National Association of Realtors, or NAR. NAR enforces the Clear Cooperation Policy. This rule dictates that any publicly marketed home must be entered into the shared MLS system within 1 business day. HannaList functions by navigating specific exemptions to that policy. Sellers can utilize classifications like office exclusives or delayed marketing exempt listings to legally stall wider distribution. Regional MLS executives have publicly praised Hanna for operating within established policies. Yet, Hanna himself sent a striking letter to NAR last year, outlining why his company would no longer follow clear cooperation as a matter of course. Large firms are engineering their platforms to live within the gray areas of the industry's transparency rules to secure an advantage over competitors. Hanna's private network is just one piece of a broader playbook that is currently dividing the real estate industry. Market consolidation is accelerating this trend. When Compass completed its acquisition of Anywhere, it gave 7 different brands the option to adopt a single, closed technology and marketing ethos. In a recent interview, Hanna outlined his strategy. He stated that the true advantage over the next 5 years belongs to the firms big enough to organize their own internal data to match pre-approved buyers faster. The entire industry competition has moved toward organizing this internal data to create a more efficient marketplace within the brokerage. This creates a state of information asymmetry. Information asymmetry is a situation where one party in a transaction has more or better information than the other. In this case, massive brokerages hold real-time data on supply and demand, while the general public is left waiting. Buyers will increasingly find that their dream home was sold before the law even allowed them to see the listing. The unified housing market is being replaced by fragmented pools of data. Access to a home now depends on which corporate database a buyer is permitted to see.